Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of great news for you all today, considering the fact that, well, mostly great news, because, it seems that, Katie Hobbs is getting completely blasted, not by the great magnificent woman that is Kari Lake, but also The View. Yeah, you heard me right. The View is flaming Katie Hobbs for not wanting to debate. And I cannot believe I'm actually going to say this, and I sound like I am a deranged man talking about how I agree with The View for once, which is completely insane, and I think I'm in Looney Bin world right now, or in some type of other dimension, because that doesn't make any bloody sense. Me agreeing with The View. Huh. Yep, the days have, time has really shifted nowadays. It's really gone pretty crazy. Anywho, without further ado, here's the clip. And yeah, and Katie also has something to say for this as well. It's not looking so good for Katie Hobbs.
Interested in the debate that didn't take place, which is Arizona gubernatorial race. You have Kari Lake, a known election denier, up against Katie Hobbs, the Democrat. Yeah. They were both on CNN yesterday, and Dana Bash actually did the job, I think, of CNN of what voters need to see, which is asking questions of the Democratic candidate. I get not wanting to elevate election deniers, but at the same time, Kari Lake is on the ballot. Katie Hobbs needs to debate her.
Katie Hobbs didn't debate her own Democratic,
right.
Yeah, the person she was up against
and
anyway.
What I worry about is a lot of Democrats are rightly saying we're concerned about the future of democracy, yet many have put money behind nominating or trying to boost election deniers and then going on the other side to not debate them. That's a huge problem.
Well, I think it's a problem, though, if you're going to debate someone that is going to spread misinformation, lie.
But you liked Herschel Walker.
I said he did better. I didn't like him. I think he did better than expected. But I think election denial is a different thing.
But that's not why. That's not why Katie Hobbs is not debating. Katie Hobbs is not debating Kari Lake because Kari Lake was on TV for 22 years and is very good on TV. And Katie Hobbs seems not to be. If Katie Hobbs was an able debater, because remember, Sonny, what's a debate going to be? It's not just going to be about the election. That's going to be one question, and they can fight about it. But they also need to answer, you know, about the inflation. They need to answer about the economy.
But
they need to answer
no
about
business
climate
being
change.
governor if she can't answer
it's
that.
Arizona.
Well, I don't know if she has no business being governor. I think we need to maybe make some kind of conversation about what you should be able to talk about and what you shouldn't be able to talk about, and how you are supposed to be acting when you're with each other. And since this woman is so much like you know who, I'm sure that she's the other lady's thinking, you know, people know this woman, they know her thing, and I can't talk about what I need to talk about because I have to deal with how you think I look and what you think I smell like. You know what I mean?
But
I think it's just that kind of thing.
Her own Democratic person, so it's not a fair comparison.
But even if you look at the Marjorie Taylor Greene debate, I hope some of you did. I mean, it was like a clown show. I couldn't believe it. And there was the denials going around and the lying.
And I think that's why, you know,
I still think it was worth doing, though.
I think so.
I go back to what I said a few weeks ago. I think candidates owe the voters the respect of debating policy.
Agreed.
Well, tell them.
Yeah. It should be a requirement.
So, and I have to say, you know, people want you to debate. You need to stand up to this person and go out and do it. And we have to play this because we're involved minusculely. Take a look.
In case she's watching, Katie, I will debate you on a stage. I will debate you in a parking lot. I will debate you in a library. I will debate you in a bar. I will debate you in a car. I will debate you on CNN. I will debate you on MSNBC. I'll even debate you on The View and let Joy Behar and Whoopi ask the questions.
That would be your dream, wouldn't it? I mean, hey, you know, we don't turn people away.
Except if they're election deniers, right?
Well, I think we don't turn election deniers away either, because as you said, people need to hear where people are coming from. And if that's what, see, this is the problem with it.
We have Ted Cruz coming on next week.
We have to give you the...
I think he's been careful enough.
I don't.
Not
he
to
wasn't
deny.
just spreading the big lie.
Yep, definitely agree with them. And there's some things, of course, a little bit of biases there, obviously. Yeah, I agree. You need to have everybody's two-side opinions about everything so you can make the correct ones. And Katie Hobbs is obviously not doing that. And the fact that I'm actually agreeing, again, with the view is an immense insanity in itself, but they're correct in the sense that we do need people that can come out and debate and see who is right and who is wrong. And the mere fact of it is that Katie Hobbs is not doing this to show the Arizona people that what she thinks is correct or what she thinks is wrong or what her opinions are and what she plans to do, and that doesn't help anything, right? Like, it doesn't help much at all, and it just seems to be hollow. So that's the reason why I think Kari Lake would just win automatically, because the Arizona people don't know what she wants and doesn't know what Katie Hobbs wants. They don't know anything. So if you're not going to debate and you're going to be a coward as you are, then yeah, of course you're not going to get any type of votes or anything of that matter. You're just going to get nothing. And for that matter, it's just crazy. Now, we have going to this video where they're talking about, like, election deniers and stuff like that, and Kari Lake explains this very, very well, exactly who are the election deniers and why we wouldn't put these people as election deniers. Take a look.
Donald Trump had not been legitimately elected. I thought he'd gotten help from the Russians.
Let's talk about election deniers. Here's 150 examples of Democrats denying election results. Oh wow, look at this. This is from Joe Biden's press secretary. Reminder, Brian Kemp stole the gubernatorial election from Georgians and Stacey Abrams. Democrats saying that. Is that an election denier? Oh, look at this. Just heard Republican Ryan Costello said it would be difficult for Stacey Abrams to win because she lost her state bid, but yet she's still claiming she never lost. This is outright. Hillary Clinton. Trump is an illegitimate president. Is she an election denier? This one says, was the 2016 election legitimate? It now definitely is a question worth asking. That's the Los Angeles Times. So it's okay for Democrats to question elections, but it's not okay for Republicans. It's a crock of BS. Every one of you knows it. We have our freedom of speech, and we're not going to relinquish it to a bunch of fake news propagandists.
Yeah, and Kari Lake comes with a perfectly good example here of the Democrats want to pretty much label as one side of people as election deniers and the other side not. And that's just kind of the insanity and the point that Kari Lake is pointing out, to where they're not being fair on either side. So they're only pointing to one side of election deniers, and she's just pointing that out. Now, we have some other news as well that's been going on, and some of the things I'd like to present that might be insane or crazy for the first time happening in one state in particular, which would be New York. And no, this time it's not about New York actually having a major crime, etc., stuff like that. It's more along the lines of New York having maybe switching governors, and that would be that Lee Zeldin to declare Lee Zeldin here. Now, I'm going to go over this article, but not exactly, because I kind of want to go over a few things onto why this is kind of like going on here. But what we have is that we have Kathy Hutchins, and it seems that things are not going as well as the Democrats want to see, because now it seems like Lee Zeldin is pretty much not doing super well in this. So, first off, we're going to go to here with Governor Kathy Hobbs orders crackdown on Cadillac converter thefts. Now, she says she's going down on converter thefts and stuff like that, And we'll go over to a brief thing of what she's doing. Is that she wants to on Monday she directed state police to crack down on thefts of vehicle catalytic converters in areas where crime is prevalent and signing legislation requiring vehicle dispensers to maintain records of receipt of the valuable pollution control systems. Hodge's announcement comes amid soaring numbers of converter thefts along Long Island, according to county police. In Nassau County, through August, 1,549 were reported stolen compared to 445 for all of 2021. In Suffolk, 819 converters were stolen through August compared to 289 in 2021. Converters contain precious metals such as platinum, palladium, and rhodium that thieves often sell for $200, $500 chop shops and scrap metal dealers. Yeah, there's a lot of homeless in New York, and that's where they can make a lot of money to, continue living on the streets or what have you. I don't know if that's really a lot, really, whatever. But it seems to be a thing, and she's trying to crack it down. Now, notice how if we go into here in terms of we type in crime. So we type in crime here because this makes it very easy for people. So we go to the crime here, and obviously if you go here, this is the only thing that's first here. So go down here, and then go down to, according to the National Insurance Crime Bureau, which tracks crimes, which that's there. And then there's this here that we go to the fourth one, which only goes down to other crimes as well, which is not being, which is not really being looked upon for her. She has not once have gone against redoing the police or really cracking down on crime, but Cadillac converters, which is not really affecting the people. Sure, it's hurting people in terms of like some of the stuff that's getting stolen or whatever, but that's not going to be addressing the main issues, which is all this other crazy crime, SAs, grape, murder, and stuff like that. This is not really indicating to what what she wants for in terms of the crime, that crazy crime that's happening here. Now, if we go to this one over here, new polls show Governor Gavin Newsom lead over Zeldin is shrinking. Republican lead Zeldin is closing in on New York Kathy Hochul with just 3 weeks to go before Election Day, according to a pair of new polls released Tuesday. A Quinnipiac University poll showed the Democratic incumbent with a 50 to 40% lead over Zeldin, a narrow 4-point margin in a heavily Democratic state that hasn't elected a Republican to statewide office in 20 years. The size of the gap between the two candidates, however, is in dispute, showing his show with 11-point advantage, 42 to 41%, while the Marius College poll last week showed Hochul with an 8-point lead among likely November voters. So we're seeing that the margin is actually is shrinking, and it doesn't seem very good here. As long as as well here is that Hochul's lead over to Lee Zeldin in New York governor's race down to just 4 points poll finds. Incumbent New York Governor Kathy Hochul's lead over Republican challenger Lee Zeldin is down to just 4 points. The latest Quebec poll shows. Results of the poll released Tuesday, just 3 weeks before the pair is set to face off in the election, show 50% likely voters in New York State said they would vote to Hochul, while 46% would cast their ballot for Zeldin. In the blue state of New York, the race for governor is competitive. Democrats have cruised to victory in gubernatorial races since 2006, but Governor Hochul's narrow edge puts Republicans see Zeldin well within striking distance of her, which doesn't seem like it's going to be that well in terms of for and we see all this stuff that's going on. And I don't think the Democrats should really be sitting lightly here, because if they're very close to getting a Republican governor and a Democratic stronghold, they should really be careful and should be feared, because it doesn't look good. Republicans gain edge as voters worry about economy Time Siena poll finds. So, what we have is Republicans enter the final weeks of the contest for control of Congress with a narrow but distinct advantage, as the economy and inflation have surged as dominant concerns, giving the party momentum to take power from Democrats in next month's midterm elections. A New York Times Siena Poll College has found the polls that shows that 49% of likely voters said they plan to vote for a Republican to represent them in Congress on November 8th. Compared with 45% who plan to vote for a Democrat, the result represents an improvement for Republicans since September, when the Democrats held a 1-point edge among likely voters in the last time Siena poll. With inflation unrelenting and the stock market steadily on the decline, the share of likely voters who said economic concerns were the most important issues facing America has leaped since July to 44% from 36%, far higher than any other issue. And voters most concerned with the economy favored Republicans overwhelmingly by more than 2-to-1 margin. So if we go down here, is that both the Democrats have been lowly, has largely said behind their own party's congressional candidates, but the polls show the Republicans opened up a 10 percentage point lead among crucial independent voters compared with the 3-point edge. So we have that here. But we have this thing here. The biggest shift came from women who identified as independent voters in September. They favored Democrats by 14 points. Now, which is in October here, is independent women backed Republicans by 18 points, a striking swing given the polarization of the American electorate and how intensely Democrats are focused on that group and on the threat of Republicans pose to abortion rights. So, even women are starting to swiftly shift here, and that's not good. And as I said, Lee Zeldin declared emergency on day 1 in office if elected New York governor, as polls show phrased a toss-up. He said during the interview this weekend that he will declare a state of emergency to combat crime on first day in office should he win next month's race for New York governor. The news comes as a polling from last week shows that Zeldin has closed the gap on Governor Kathy Hochul in recent weeks, with the race now being deemed by Real Clear parties as a toss-up. Zeldin made the remarks during a Fox News interview on Sunday with Mary Bertramo on Sunday Morning Futures. "I want to do everything I possibly can in the first 100 minutes, Zeldin said. I want to have a very active day 1. I just announced a couple days ago that as soon as I'm sworn into office, I'm going to be declaring a crime emergency here in the state of New York. I'm going to suspend the New York's cashless bail laws and some other pro-criminal laws that have been passed. Force the legislature to come to the table to negotiate an improvement because we have to take back our streets. We need law-abiding New Yorkers back in control of New York streets instead of criminals. I previously announced that my first action, my first day that I'm in office, is telling them that the Manhattan District Attorney Alan Bragg that he's being removed for his refusal to enforce the law," he added. But it doesn't stop there. "We need to support our men and women in law enforcement. We need to make sure whether it's cashless bail, less is more, raise the age, hall tax, some of these other names of laws that have passed, which I don't get as much attention, are resulting in people getting hurt, law-abiding New Yorkers, resulting in people getting hurt, law-abiding New Yorkers getting hurt." So, that being said, the Democrats may actually end up having a Republican governor from New York, which would be absolutely devastating for the Democrats by a good margin. Having a Republican governor for New York, that would crush the Democrats. That is a Democratic stronghold, almost as strong as I would say even California. This is not going well, and even Oregon is look for a Democratic place, and Nevada is looking to turn red. The Democrats cannot lie easy on this one, fellas. The Democrats are in very dark place right now, and if this happens, then I can't tell much what's going to be happening for the Democrats. I know this video is long, but I need you guys to realize that these big things that are happening is crazy, and the Democrats are looking to lose this. Now, I'm not saying that Zeldin is going to win, but there's a very high chance possibility that it is. And if Hochul does not go crack down on actual crime, which is what the mostly the people and women even so are afraid of, it will be catastrophic for Hochul. I don't think that Hochul can win if she doesn't start cracking down on crime. Well, it doesn't seem like she doesn't. She is. Well, guys, we'll see what happens in November. October surprise, like everybody's been saying, and it's being crazy right now. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, take care.